Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever questioned to yourself, what makes us human? Is it because we're more thoughtful? Or we're more blessed to have a bigger mind than the other living creatures? Please, answer this not to me, not to others, but to yourself. You see, over the time, the idea of being human has surely meant and will continue to mean many things. There is and has never been just one answer. But one thing that surely relates to today's situation is the ability to recognize that the question itself is a problem. So today, I would like to explore the thing that we call as humanity. But I'm not going to do this alone. I would like to invite you to join me. So, are you ready? Good day, honorable judges, and all of you who are watching this video. My name is Yehezkiel. I'm from 22 Senior High School, Jakarta, and today I would like to talk about humanity exploration in the new normal life. Now, ladies and gentlemen, before I start the exploration part, I want to talk about a certain movie. Have you ever watched a movie called Train to Busan? It was a famous movie that got released in 2016. The movie tells us about a father and a daughter who struggle to escape from a zombie outbreak. Now, what made this movie interesting for me isn't because it has zombies in it, nor about the adventure. But it is about how this movie showed us that regardless of how disastrous the situation may be, how much chaos that they went through, the character still shows some empathy and faith. They keep showing us that helping each other is important. How humanity still worked even in a critical situation such as in the movie. But you see, Train to Busan isn't the only movie that features an outbreak, plague, or such. There have been numerous movies related to the subject. But in almost all of them, the directors and writers all have the idea that to overcome the catastrophic situation, empathy and kindness need to take part in it. Now, I see this movie to be quite similar with the situation that we are living in right now. Today, we are living in a crisis because of the corona pandemic. People are searching for help, and they are indeed needing help. Countless people lost their jobs, which makes them unable to pay their bills, which then makes them hungry or even homeless. There's no doubt that this pandemic has brought a lot of negative impacts onto our daily lives. Well, for an example, I know a friend. For me, he was a bundle of joy. He's smart, kind, and always smiled at people. But then, this pandemic arrived, which destroyed his father's business. Since then, I never really saw his smile again. Now, this may not be the same as your problem right now, but in any case, everyone faces a problem because of this pandemic. I don't know any of your problems, but I do know you most likely to have one. You see, knowing humans, we may assume people to focus only on solving their own problems, aka being egotistical. But this pandemic has proven otherwise. There are many examples of people helping others, even to people who they don't even know or even met before. But yet, they still showed kindness. People such as doctors. Now, we've all heard stories of healthcare workers who work tirelessly for almost 24 hours straight while wearing protective suits. Treating COVID-19 patients non-stop, they put their lives at risk just so others could be healed. There are also psychologists and therapists who open their clinic online to make sure their patients don't succumb to any mental health problems during their quarantine. And we can't forget teachers, of course, especially the senior ones, who are meritorious in teaching us. Giving love to their students, they voluntarily learned how to operate the internet and online classes when they have never used it before. They even stayed up all night answering questions and complaints from students and parents. I know other students will be mad if they get a lot of assignments from their teachers. Well, not going to lie, I do too. However, can we just appreciate our teachers for adapting so much into this online world? They put their efforts just so they can continue the teaching process. They put their love just so we could get education. Some other sacrifices people may not realize are the grave diggers. Yes, you heard me right. The lifeless victims of COVID-19 can still infect others. Yet these grave diggers take the risk just so the lost souls can rest in peace. And lastly, there's also us, the common people. Someone who may seem to not make a huge sacrifice, but still help others through crowdfunding or charities for the people who are affected. These donations may be small, but even a single 1,000 rupiah banknote can change someone else's life. You see, from this pandemic, we actually can understand how humanity still works within us. Maybe what we do isn't exactly the same as in the movie that I said earlier. But isn't the essence still the same? To let down our ego. We may not be battling zombies, and the world may not be ending because of the virus. But what we displayed is still the same. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's go back. Have you found the answer to my question? About what makes us human? But for me, after doing this exploration, I think it comes down to our values for others, our empathy, philanthropy, and compassion. From this speech of mine, we've learned that there is still humanity, even in the middle of a crisis that we are living in right now. So, for my last words, I wanted to say, thank you. You've made it this far, and you still showed kindness and hope. You still being a human, even in a hard situation like this. Well, I don't know what you all have been through, but all I could say is thank you. Let me close this speech by giving a quote from Albert Schweitzer. The purpose of a human life is to serve and to show compassion and the will to help others. Remember, we are social beings. We need to show that humanity still exists in ourselves. I believe if we all wanted to help each other and get along side by side through this outbreak, then we can pass this crisis together. Thank you.